Hi, everyone, and welcome to Straight Talk with Sophia and One. It is April 6th, 2023, and today we'll explore the idea of a financial remedy. Will it be applied, and what will that look like? So, would you share your question with
I would
us?
be happy to, Sophia. Thank you. And the question was pretty simple, and it's been a question that I've had for quite some time. It's because it's so reoccurring with those of us in the quote unquote spiritual community. But what it says is, I am still seeing and hearing so much about the need for financial remedy. Is there any plan in the near term for either individual or collective distribution of financial resources to provide at least a breath of relief for so many that are in need?
Okay, that's beautifully put. And the answer is wonderful. And I'm going to start to allay anyone's fears that's listening that one of the lines in the answer is remedy for what's been lost, and so much beyond that is indeed going to occur for every human. And having said that, I'd first like to talk about and relay to you what was said about who you are and why you asked the question. So I'll read some of the response. Um, he seeks answers to the details because he is a supplier of them. His reach is broad. His enthusiasm for potential is vast. He is a bright light, one of the brightest, who has not been dimmed even when faced with dire news and difficult conditions. He holds a deep reservoir of truth and seeks to validate that truth always, so that he can expand it through his earthly activities. He provides his truth and light as a gift and searches always for more, so that he can give more. This, so that in his way and in this way can speed up this ascension process for everyone. It is his mission, and although he has been tempted to, he's never wavered from fulfilling it. He provides a center beam so that this new earth will be held in place. It is an awesome responsibility and one he takes on with joy. And that was the first part that was specifically about your mission. And there's a
Beautiful.
set. So, okay, I don't know how that feels for you. Um,
It's well, it feels exactly how I have been feeling, and as these memories come back, about the who, what's, whys, whens, and wheres of this entire amazing adventure, Sophia. It's
okay,
so spot on, I can hardly even believe it, but it's beautiful.
okay. And today, right before we spoke, I was compulsed to sit down and ask if there was anything else. And there is, and this is some more additional information for you about your mission. And this is what he said today. He said a few additional details will be of assistance. He will remember it all in due time. Yet, in order to begin actively, he is to attune himself to the area in which he finds himself. And I said, do you mean the place where he lives or is living? And he said, yes. Yet this attunement has more to do with the population than the ground he walks on. It is a skill he has and one he does naturally already. It is why travel is easily accomplished. He fits in easily. That, I know that one fits because I remember you're
it's
always
it,
everywhere.
it's spot on, and like I said, I've called myself the wanderer because of my travels, and I mean, I've touched so many lives, and it's been such a wonderful experience. And
Hmm.
it's like we were talking about before we came on live here was, the amount of interaction that I'm now seeing in this particular little area has been amazing.
Hmm. Hmm. He said he fits in easily wherever he lands, and adjustments are easy and relatively quick. What is being said now is that he will want to trust his natural instinct where he finds himself when certain remarkable changes occur. He will be where he is most needed. And when he said that, I'm not sure, but I felt what I felt was I don't know what it is, a solar event, whatever this event is, that's finally going to happen.
Right.
I think that's what he's referring to. He said at that time
Okay.
he need not fear that he would be intruding or considered an outsider. His input and presence will be necessary and helpful. It's like what he was saying is you're going to be at a specific time when that happens, place when that happens.
Okay.
And that he said he'll know what to do. He'll want to trust his instincts and he'll know what to do and who to do it for. This is as natural for him to him as any other skill he's aware of. He just hasn't named it yet.
Okay.
And then he said he'll want to remember this conversation when things change. And again, the things change thing to me felt like that change that none of us is going to be unaware of happening, that big change from this from the sun or from the
I feel
sky.
that so deeply,
Okay.
and it's like so many, these adjustments I called it that we've been blessed to be able to, go through and welcome and honor and accept. But there's been so much more clarity with what you're sharing with me now than ever before, and it's like I keep saying, it's just such a beautiful happening.
Okay. Okay, good.
Thank you.
So the answer to your question, it was a long, the reason I said that sentence at the beginning, that there will be a return to what has been taken and so much more, is because this question was answered, it began with a discussion of money. And I'm going to try to summarize it and read parts of it because it said, um, money is the key component enabling this system of slavery under which the human race operates. Money is a representation of value. This value, represented by money, has been set by the same controllers who orchestrated ownership, the Georgia Guidestones, and corporate monopolies. This group operates on a belief that the only value of any human is what that human can supply them. It could be labor, it could be parts. This group does not see inherent worth in either the human or any form of life. The idea of worth is equated to amount of benefit to them. This is how their life is run. Theirs is an existence of negotiations, conquest, and greed. And then he went on to say that you're currently living through the destruction of that system. As the chains of slavery are thrown off, the value that has been arbitrarily set to money disappears as well. This money, which drives the entire system of slavery, will eventually and quickly come to be seen for the sham that it is. So I want to say here my own impression of this quickly before I read some more is that the whole idea of money was created for the system, and we are throwing away the system. We're their system. But we only know how to operate with commerce and trade and money and those things. So overall, my impression of what he's saying to us is that there's going to be recompense, there's going to be something new, but that as this is an ascension process and this is an acceleration of ourselves, that is going to coincide with this acceleration of ourselves. In other words, as our own self-worth increases, the value of what we use to trade will increase and our access to it will increase as well. I'm going to read a few more things, what he said about that. He said, what will occur is a restructuring of value so that it reflects something concrete. This will require a massive overhaul of the financial system. And he said, to a large extent, this has already occurred, but we haven't seen it yet. He said, he said, your inquiry is one of remedy, which this would be a return of what has been taken, a return of value. And again, he said, or this is how he said it, in a beautifully synchronistic way, this return coincides with the realization of worth of the human, self-worth. And then he went on to say that the entire process of this ascension is centered on self-worth. And each day you have the opportunity to realize the truth. The truth is that your value cannot be monetized. We were tricked, really, into believing it could,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And so, and that's the key to everything. It's money. Which is anyway. And then he went on to say, can you put a price on a creator? You cannot. And the race is coming to realize that now. He said, there has always been a plan to rectify the wrongdoing that was perpetrated on the race. You will not be told of this plan until it has been initiated, and it will not be initiated until every faction of possible control and or manipulation has been eliminated. This is an extremely important point, and it's the reason for he spoke so much about what money was at the beginning of the conversation. He said it is money that drives the forces of dark control. And what he's saying there is that as long as there's still a chance that let's call the controllers could manipulate and corrupt and get money to continue the darkness that's been underneath so much of society, that it won't change completely. That once they're completely gone, or their access to it is completely disabled, then the abundance comes.
Which makes sense. Yeah. And it's the whole driving force behind the question for me was the reassurance for the collective. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you've heard it and seen so much about it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that it's probably one of the strongest emotional feelings or factors that is holding back a real explosion in the collective consciousness on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And just allowing those people that are so wonderfully active now, in this process,
Mm-hmm.
of coming back to our true self.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's I just feel such a vital element to let people know that everything is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I
And
know what you're saying, and I understand it, and I feel the same way about this thing has to be completely cleared.
they can't, and right, they can't capture it. It can't be captured anymore.
Right, right.
And he went on to say that what will change before financial remedy is applied in full is how money is created and by whom. And that question by whom revolves around responsibility. In other words, I was thinking of something like the blockchain, something like that was, we own it, nobody else owns it, nobody else can touch it, that kind of thing. I don't know, that's not what was told to me, but that idea of access and responsibility. It said your wealth will be held by you in a manner that is secure.
Okay,
I don't know what this looks like. I'm just saying, that's what he said. And then he said, as self-worth expands, so does the value of everything you hold.
sure. Yeah, we go from that external, as you say, and it's always been known, slavery state of
Mm-hmm.
control
Mm-hmm.
to the reawakening of our natural state, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And where the value is an inside job, and as we reverse the energetic exchange from inside to outside. No, it makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. He said it will be like a return to balance.
Okay,
And then he said later, and if I want to find it, um, he said the journey with the human race, our journey with money is not over. because of the idea of value and how we understand it and what we understand it to be. He said, you will find yourselves in questioning its importance, meaning the importance of money someday, but not now. First, it has to be experienced as plentiful. And he said, and you will. Once the race is set free, you will write your own script. And the current influence of scarcity and lack will color that script and fill it with money, no doubt. But remember, or realize that once everyone is abundant, the purpose of money will change.
Okay.
So that was how this part of it ended. And it's really a beautiful synchronistic answer, I think, to your question, and gives me
It
hope.
is.
Yeah. So
And
we have
it's as crazy as things are, and we know what's going on. And since I asked the question, this everything is taken off in the financial aspect of this
Yes.
particular. Oh,
Oh man, it's
and
insane. I know.
and actually, once I was just giggling about it. It's the timing of all of this is so amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and now that we are seeing it, which being human, we need to be able to sense it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
But
Right.
I'm just hoping that people will settle into those things that allow us to do what we came here to do without
Mm-hmm.
the external interferences or distractions, so to speak.
I believe that they will. I
Yeah,
believe.
I do too.
I think
mean,
I see too much good to think
yeah,
otherwise.
there's so
Yeah.
well, and the level of love has never been as high as it is on the planet right now, and
Mm-hmm.
that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's enormous. So I'll end the recording here and then we'll say goodbye. So just
Okay.
unless you have anything else you want to add before we shut down.
Well, I just once again, my amount of gratitude and appreciation for all that you have done is way beyond words, Sophia, and I'm always going to be eternally, infinitely grateful. And to have this new expression that you have created with the one, with this question and answer session, and allowing people to have direct um, interaction, I guess probably is the best way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is such a huge blessing, and I'm wonderfully thankful.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm glad that he decided to do it. It wasn't my idea. It was his.
Oh,
So he said, this is what we're gonna do. And I said, okay, we'll
well,
see.
it's beautiful to see the evolution of his involvement,
Hmm.
if I should say his, but the energetic
The energetic
expression.
expression. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and once again, like everything else, the timing is divine.
Yeah, it is perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're gonna close there. That's it for today. Thanks. Thank you for your question and thank everyone for participating and lots of love and light, and we'll see you next time.